My guest today is Kelly Lavery from Strucket. Kelly, where can people find you?
You can find us on our website at strucket.com or our social medias, which is Strucket on Facebook or Strucket on Instagram.
And we are surrounded by awards.
We are.
Quickly tell me about these because I'm so impressed.
We've cleaned up. We're very fortunate. So we've got a Good Design Australia award. We've got the Sunshine Coast Business Women Awards in the sustainability category. And we've got Oz Mumpreneur, a gold winner for product innovation.
This is a fantastic story. I know you're going to love it. I'm Robin Cook and this is Stories from the Red Couch. What I love about your story, Kelly, is that this had never been done before and you had a real need and you thought, did you think how hard could it be? Or what did you think when you came up with this idea?
Oh, I don't think I ever thought how hard could this be because I might not have done it, but the more I needed it, the more I wanted it. And there was actually a lot of moments in the shower where I went, oh my God, this could actually fill a gap in the market. There could actually be a space for something like this. And what if?
Is that something that you do? I have shower streams of consciousness as well. Do you often think about products that could fill a gap in the market? Is that the way your mind works?
So I do. So we've got a big shower screen.
Yes.
There's a lot of writing that goes on there. This, write down, and what could that be? And I write down, actually have 3 sections, so I actually break it down into family.
Screen.
I do. It's funny that you asked that question, but that is something that I do.
That's fantastic. I love that. And I love it that you've persevered, but that's what you have to do, don't you? It's not enough to have the idea, and it's not enough just to think, oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a marathon.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah. Ideas are cheap, Robin.
Yes.
Anyone can have an idea.
Yeah.
It's what it takes to get it over the line. And then even the next step, you can bring something like this to fruition. You can bring it to market, but then to turn it into a profit and actually make money out of it is a totally different thing.
That's not something that you can do on your own, is it? Is it?
Look, we're really lucky now that we don't need to have a team of staff under us, but absolutely you need to outsource. So you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and then you need to be able to outsource where you can't help. But there's a tremendous amount of professionals that can help you.
And how hard is that? You've got this thing. I wrote a book for the same reason. I needed a cookbook and there wasn't one.
Yeah.
Funnily, you think that there's 50 million cookbooks, but there wasn't the one I wanted, so I wrote it. But it was the same thing where I nurtured the idea, we developed it, and then we had to hand it over. How difficult was it to make the decisions around who were the best people to help you?
It's a really hard decision because it's like leaving your child with someone.
Yes.
It can easily be put into the wrong hands, but if anyone that has dealt with me knows, I do ask a lot of questions and it does take me a while to make a decision. But I think I go with my gut.
Okay.
I really, really go with my gut, and if something doesn't feel right to me, then I don't pursue it.
Yeah.
And you need to know at the end of the day that you're dealing with your money, so it's up to you to make those decisions and move forward. Yeah.
Were all of those people on the Sunshine Coast that you...
Yeah, some were in Brisbane. So the original designer was actually in Wynnum, in Brisbane. And I did reach out to some other people in Brisbane, but chose not to go ahead with them. But I do like to use the Sunshine Coast. We have really a massive arena of... wealthy, knowledgeable people.
Yeah, totally capable, aren't we, of doing everything we need to be able to do.
Extremely. It's pretty exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting. Tell me about the process of going, because you say on your website, I'm a mum, and after the last child, I'm thinking about doing this thing, and tell me about that process around moving from thinking I'm a mum of a bunch of kids to I'm now a businesswoman with this amazing product that I can take globally.
Well, it kind of was a process. It's just sort of happened itself. And I guess I was that mum who was probably a little bit, I felt like there was something missing in me. I was happy on the outside, but I really, really wanted, and had for a long time, wanted something that would fulfill me. So we'd had our 2 girls and we were really moving forward, and I knew that I was coming into this place where, hey, I've got a bit more time, the youngest one's at school, I can start doing something just for me. And then, boom, I was pregnant. So that shiny light that I could see at the end of the tunnel that was getting closer and closer and closer, which I would probably call my freedom in a little bit of a way, just went boom, and it disappeared. And it really took my husband and I a long while to come to terms with the fact that we were now going to have another baby, and we were older. I was 38. And look, there's a silver lining in everything though. Going straight back into baby muck and being surrounded by buckets of baby soaking mess, the punami linked onesie and all of those horrible things led me to Strucket, and has just really awakened something inside of me that is particularly exciting. And it's just my next chapter.
So was it dirty nappies that really
not so
fostered this?
Not so much dirty nappies. So I did traditional cloth with my first 2 girls. To be honest with Jude, I wasn't really looking at going down that path. I used a bit of cloth here and there. It was mainly bibs.
Yes.
It was mainly the onesies that were leaked. It was just really, to be honest, you're so busy. Yeah. Babies are messy. They start their food. They've got pumpkin. They've got spaghetti. They've got
everywhere, isn't it? It's not only on their clothes, is it?
No, it's
on everything.
It's everywhere.
How do they distribute it?
It's just a rush of life. It's just a mess. And so it was actually my husband that was the person who was like throwing everything into buckets. And I would go into the laundry and he would use Tupperware containers, actually, big Tupperware containers, because we'd moved to glass.
Yes.
And we were getting rid of all plastic in our life, even though we've now got plastic. But he was throwing things in, and I'd walk in, I'd be really, really tired after the shower. The baby would be screaming in the background. I'd have the 2 other kids that I'd have to ferry off to school. Yeah. And I'd walk in and go, oh my gosh. And I'd either start to get it out or I'd throw it back. I could never complete the process. Yeah. The process just couldn't be finished. And it just came down to, I went shopping and I thought, there's got to be something to fix this. Surely we're still not manually getting things out of buckets in the 21st century.
Because that's the thing. I mean, you're putting your hands in that water and then you're in a hurry, so you really have to wash your hands thoroughly after something like that, don't you? When you're then handling, maybe you're getting the lunches out or brushing teeth or whatever with less than clean hands.
Yeah, and look, and we do get a few comments on our social media going, well, if you don't want to get your hands dirty, well, you shouldn't have kids.
I don't know about that.
Look, I've been pooed on. I'm sure you have. Weed on.
Explosive.
Vomit, all of those things. Yeah. But when you throw things into buckets, and we generally are soaking things that have got food or bodily fluids, that's particular, that's what we soak because it needs doing, and they fester in buckets.
They do.
And you wouldn't put your hand into an unflushed toilet, would you?
No. And that's pretty much what it is, isn't it?
That's what a bucket becomes.
Yeah.
So I really would think, God, there's got to be a better way. Yeah. And I shouldn't be putting my hands into this.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted something to just pull it up and get it out without me touching it and then have it all wash away.
Yeah. I love that. You can have a look at how the Strucket works in its entirety on your website, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're not going to demonstrate. We're not going to put filthy things in and water and all that.
It consists of a strainer and a bucket and an external plug. And then when you want to remove the items, you just pull the strainer up. It clicks up onto the top. It separates for you, and then the dirty water goes down the drain with the plug. Yeah, simple.
So how was it in backing yourself to be able to take this on? Because you know, you're an intelligent woman with loads of experience.
Now.
Well, even then, I mean, you know, you'd already done a whole bunch of stuff, so clearly you know what life is about. How did you do that? How did you set yourself up to back yourself that this was a great idea and I'm going to go for this?
Look, you've got to have an element of crazy. There has to be that there. It was research. Okay. So it was, okay, I've got an idea. What do I do? So I reached actually out to someone that I'd seen on Shark Tank, and I ended up buying their product off Shark Tank.
Okay.
And I thought, hey, I'm a customer. Maybe I can just email him and see what he says. And he responded. And he gave me a little bit of advice. His product was also injection moulded, so I was able to talk to him in a similar sense. And then he said to me, you need to check out some patents, you need to see if it has been done before, you need to find a designer. And he basically gave me a couple of things and I just went off and running. And so I just ticked those off. Yeah. We got some patent advice, we got a professional patent done. And mind you, the guy said, that's got to have been done before. That will have been done before, don't worry about it. It will be a really old patent and they like you to renew them, so it's okay. And he came back and he said, this hasn't been done before.
That's incredible. How did you feel when you heard that?
I said to him, I told you. I said, I've been looking for this online everywhere.
It does not exist.
I've been looking for this for 4 months.
Yes.
Like this, I cannot find it. No matter how hard I look, yes. I cannot find something that offers me this. And so then we were like, okay, there's definitely a gap in the market. There's a space for this. So what do we do to protect that? What do we do to make sure that the design is right? How do we have a good recommended retail price? And then how do we see if customers want it?
Yeah. So what was the next step? I mean, this is a fabulous story. I'm just loving how you've taken it from that shower to this.
Well, I stumbled into the first designer's room that I went into, and he designed our original prototype. It's changed since, and I had the baby, the little baby, and my husband, and you know, the mum bun and all of that. And in I stumbled, and I swear sometimes I think he looked at me and thought, he says he didn't. He says he was just really trying to get the design right and understand what I wanted, but something so simple. So we went down that track, and that was we started putting money aside. So $500 a week was what we put aside, and we saved it and we saved it and we saved it, and then we did the first piece. Yeah. So the first design part was $10,000, and then we sort of went whoa, and you know, pulled back a little bit because we've got kids at private school. We've got.
Did you have a concept of what the overall project might cost when you started?
We knew that the design phase was about $30,000 just to design it.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And then when we were ready to go, hey, look, the design's done, we're ready to launch it into market, the tooling cost that we had was $250,000 was the quote. And we'd had 3 quotes. We had some in China, we had some in Australia, and they were on par, believe it or not.
That's spectacular.
Yeah.
Because we think of our manufacturing sector as dying really in Australia, but you have this you have this manufactured in Brisbane, don't you?
Absolutely. And that was a really important part for me, that I did want it to be Aussie made. And we had Chinese quotes done because my designer said you need to look at that, because something like this costs a lot of money. And when it was on par, maybe by a couple of dollars here and there, I just went, no, I'm set. It's definitely an Aussie made product for me. But then we started, I pitched to a big shark, an American shark called Kevin Harrington, in a tiny little room, and he actually loved the product. But when he looked at what it was going to cost to bring it to market, he backed off. And he was an amazing support, but he likes really little things that cost not much, and he can make a hell of a lot of money out of.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Whereas I wanted a product that would save mums. So I was a mum, I wanted it, and I wanted other mums
And the thing that I love about it, so you've just talked about the cost of design and the cost of tooling.
Yeah.
which is maybe something you're going to have to Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, to really
Tooling is basically the machine.
Oh, okay.
So certain machines take certain moulds.
All right.
So this has a big mould, each piece has a mould, and then melted plastic goes in, then cold water rushes in afterwards, sets it, and then it pops off one at a time.
Oh, okay.
So we were never able to bring anything like this to the market without buying tooling.
Okay, fair enough. But what I love about it, and there's lots of things to love about it, but it's so robust.
Oh, it's well made.
Yeah, and so I guess what I can see in that is it's worth the process that you've gone through.
Absolutely.
Particularly as a family, when you buy something like that, it's going to last all of your children.
Yes.
And then beyond.
Absolutely.
Those years, aren't they? It's not something that's going to break easily. Seriously, you really will have to try it because it's chunky and it's elegant.
Yeah. No, there's also, it's about 1.7 kilos. So it's, there's a lot of design has gone into that. It's industrial engineered, designed from top to toe. We like to say that even our bottom looks good. So you've got to look at the bottom. It's got little feet.
It has got feet. And all of your creds on the bottom there too. Yes. So BPA free, which is good because even if you don't have kids, you can use one of these. What sort of things do people use it for?
Oh, look, it originated
without dirty nappies.
Originated in the laundry around baby, but the uses are endless. You can pull the strainer up and down and it agitates and hand washes, so perfect for people that want to do their Camilla caftans.
Oh, yes.
Their winter woolies and so forth. Brilliant for camping, washing your dishes. It's an excellent bait bucket.
Actually, yes. Perfect. We are campers.
Yes.
That's fantastic for camping.
Yeah,
great
bait bucket. You can store all your condiments in it. We sell a lot to the camping and caravanning sector.
I'm sure you do.
We've also lent over into aged care, so into the incontinence market.
Okay.
So particularly in home care situations, where someone might go in with the elderly to help them. There we've got disability. We're also looking to at the moment in the commercial kitchen space where they're doing a really big food prep. So fruit and veg and all those types of things, marinating game meat and so forth. So it's really just got, look, there's strainers and there's buckets everywhere. There's strainers and vessels everywhere, but no one has ever connected the two together.
Put the two together. And I love that. And the way that it clips on the side.
Yeah.
And it can hold that.
The connection in Strucket is what Strucket does.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah. Where are you going to take it?
So as we've launched in December, went nuts, absolutely crazy. We definitely did find a gap in the market. On Monday, I leave to Cologne in Germany. So we're heading over to the biggest baby expo, and we have already started distributing to New Zealand, and we have product in Mexico, would you believe?
No.
Yeah. But we're really looking for, we get a lot of people all the time contacting us from the UK and America and parts of Europe. Because of the size, individual orders are just too hard to post.
Sure.
It's quite big, so we're really seeking that international distributor that can move it for us. So that's exciting.
That's so brilliant. And so, Kelly, where can people find it?
So strucket.com. Online with us, but you can also find it locally too. Perugian and the Coolum IGA, the Bly IGA. We've got Howard Storage, Maroochydore. You can find them all over Australia. I think Tent World are now stocking them as well.
Fabulous.
Google Strucket, they come up everywhere. They're out there.
Yeah, well, it's such an individual word, isn't it?
Strucket.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Strainer bucket. It's a bit ochre. It's a bit Aussie, but proud Australian here, so I don't mind.
Yeah, good on you. Thank you for joining me. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. My guest today is Kelly Lavery from Strucket. Kelly, where can people find you?
You can find us at Strucket.